Girl, you're not gonna believe the mess Queen Bey is caught up in right now. I mean, who would have thought that a Beyoncé concert, yes, Beyoncé, the one and only, would leave fans feeling played, broke, and betrayed? Okay, so let's set the scene. Imagine this. You've been waiting months, hyped out of your mind for Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter tour. You wake up early, your palms sweaty, your laptop open with 10 tabs trying to snatch those golden tickets. After hours of stress and 3 meltdowns later, you finally get one. But it cost you $900. That's right, $900, 0 cents for one ticket. You bite the bullet because, hey, it's beyond. You think it's gonna be worth it, right? Now imagine waking up a few days later and finding out that the same ticket, the exact same seat, is now being sold for $38, 0 cents. $38. Honey, people didn't just feel scammed, they felt devastated, enraged, betrayed. Twitter or X or whatever Elon's calling it now was in flames. Fans were dragging everyone from Beyonce's team to Ticketmaster to the entire music industry. And you know it's serious when even the Beehive starts stinging their own queen. So what went wrong? Like, how did this go from OMG best tour ever to I'm selling my ticket for gas money? Let's rewind. Beyoncé launched her Cowboy Carter tour early in 2025, riding high off the wild success of Renaissance. Everyone thought this was going to be the cultural reset of the decade. A genre-bending, high-glam, country-inspired experience only Beyoncé could deliver. Yee-haw meets Yonsei, right, Beyoncé? Wrong! Instead of a chart-topping celebration, this tour turned into a PR dumpster fire. And at the center of the chaos, those outrageous ticket prices. Fans were forking over $732, 0 cents, for basic seats, and don't even get us started on VIP. Some went up to nearly $3, 0 cents. Like, is Beyoncé serving dinner and tucking us in at night? And the gag is, people still paid it. Because that's how much we believe in her, because we've seen her deliver magic time and time again. But what did we get in return? Ticket prices that dropped faster than our trust. As show dates crept closer, the unthinkable happened. Ticket resale prices started tanking fast. That $900, 0 cents ticket selling for $80, 0 cents, then $60, 0 cents, then $38, 0 cents. People were shook, like staring at your screen in silence level of shook. Even fan tweeted, paid $900, 0 cents for my ticket, now they're going for $38, 0 cents? This is unacceptable. That tweet exploded. Thousands of retweets, thousands of likes, and thousands more fans screaming the same thing. We were played. And let me tell you, it wasn't just a couple of angry posts. It became a full-on movement. TikToks were flying, Reddit was a war zone, and Instagram was full of receipts. You could feel the disappointment oozing from every comment. These weren't just casual fans, these were the hardcore, skip a rent payment for Beyoncé level stands. And they were pissed. So now people started asking the obvious, how did this happen? Enter the villain of our story, Ticketmaster. Or should we say Trick Eat Master? The culprit behind this mess is something called dynamic pricing. Oh yes, the phrase that makes fans shiver. Here's how it works. Ticket prices go up when demand is high and drop when demand slows, like a stock market, but for concerts. So when Beyoncé first dropped her tour dates, everyone rushed in, hyped, ready to spend whatever it took. Prices soared. But then the hype died down. And with demand dropping, so did the prices. Except only the people who waited benefited. The fans who showed up early, who were loyal, who shelled out thousands, they got slapped in the face. And honey, fans weren't just mad, they were heartbroken. Because this wasn't just about money, it was about trust, loyalty, respect. Now, let's address the cowboy hat-wearing elephant in the room. The album itself. Cowboy Carter was bold, it was daring, it was unlike anything Beyoncé's ever done. And that's part of the problem. Beyoncé dipped into country and not everyone followed her. Critics, they loved the artistic risks. Fans, not so much. Some adored it. Others felt like, wait, this isn't what I signed up for. The genre switch was a gamble, and for some fans, it didn't pay off. Now pair that confusion with insane ticket prices. Y'all, it was a recipe for disaster. And let's not ignore the economy. Life is expensive right now. Eggs cost more than Wi-Fi. Rent through the roof. People are still recovering from the pandemic years. In 2023, sure, Beyoncé's Renaissance tour was a splurge people were willing to make. But in 2025, those splurges feel a little less justifiable. Beyoncé went from being a dream experience to a budget nightmare. And then, oh girl, the tea gets scalding. Live Nation had the audacity to claim that 94% of the tour was sold out. But fans were attending shows and filming entire empty sections. We're talking SoFi Stadium, massive venue, looking like a high school pep rally. Rows upon rows of empty seats, fans posted photos, videos, proof. You couldn't miss it. So who exactly bought those tickets? Bots? Scalpers? Imaginary friends? Because clearly those seats weren't filled. People started calling it what it was, a cover-up, a numbers game, a farce art. And remember when I said this wasn't Ticketmaster's first scandal? Oh baby, they've been catching heat for years. Hidden fees, sudden price hikes, the whole Taylor Swift fiasco, yeah, that was just the beginning. Beyoncé's tour added gasoline to that fire. Some lawmakers are now even calling for investigations into Ticketmaster's practices. Like this thing blew up. It stopped being a music drama and turned into a real-world policy issue. And Beyoncé? She's caught in the middle of it all. And yet, she's been silent. Not a word from Bey herself. No explanation, no apology, no acknowledgement. And that silence, it's deafening. Now let's be real for a second. Beyoncé isn't just any artist. She's a brand, a movement, a living, breathing cultural reset every time she so much as breathes in a microphone. So this kind of backlash, this kind of fan revolt, no, it's unheard of. But here we are. The Cowboy Carter tour turned into a case study on how not to price a concert. Fans weren't just mad about money, they were mourning the experience they thought they were getting. You see, when you pay $900.00 for a Beyoncé ticket, you're not just buying a seat. You're buying an escape, a memory, a once-in-a-lifetime, tell your grandkids about it kind of night. You're buying magic. And when that magic becomes available for $38.00 just days later, that illusion, that feeling, it shatters. And it's not like fans are asking for too much. They're not demanding freebies or handouts. They just want fairness, a little bit of love in return for the years they've supported her through thick and thin. But this tour, it made them feel used. One fan said it best in a TikTok, Beyoncé told us we were irreplaceable and then replaced our loyalty with dynamic pricing. Oof. The drag. Now, behind the scenes, the industry is shaking. There are real conversations happening about whether dynamic pricing is officially canceled. Some experts are even saying this might push artists to take more control, like full control, away from platforms like Ticketmaster. If her fans can get burned, no one is safe. There's even quiet buzz that other artists are taking notes. Some are already thinking about cutting out the middleman altogether, maybe using blockchain or direct-to-fan platforms to handle ticketing. Because let's face it, this system, it's broken. And while we're being honest, some folks in the industry are whispering what fans are now screaming out loud. Maybe Beyoncé needs to reconnect with her babe, because the Cowboy Carter tour didn't just reveal issues with pricing, it revealed a disconnect between Beyoncé and her fans, between the fantasy she's selling and the reality people are living in. Like, the Beehive has always been ride or die, but even they have limits. And if Beyoncé doesn't address this, doesn't speak up or offer any kind of gesture, that loyalty might not snap back as quickly as she's used to. Let's not twist it. Her legacy is intact. She's still Beyoncé. The music, still stellar. The visuals, still elite. But this was the first time in a long time that fans saw a crack in her otherwise flawless image. And baby, once that crack shows, people start looking a little closer. People are asking, is she out of touch? Has the team around her gotten too corporate? Is she being insulated from what fans are really feeling? Or valid questions. And for the first time, people aren't scared to ask. Now let's zoom out a little. This isn't just about Beyoncé. This is a concert culture crisis, an industry-wide reckoning. Because what happened here, it's a symptom of a much bigger problem. Fans are being priced out. The middle class can't afford nosebleeds. The front row is for influencers and VIPs with unlimited credit limits. And the soul of live music, the fans who scream every lyric, who wear the merch, who live and breathe the music, is being squeezed out. And maybe Cowboy Carter was the breaking point. Maybe it took watching $900 0 cent seats drop to $38 0 cents for fans to finally say enough. Enough with the hidden fees. Enough with the scalper bots. Enough with the VIP packages that give you a tote bag and anxiety. Enough with being treated like cash cows instead of people. So now what? That's the $1 million question. Will Beyoncé step up and say something? Will her team offer refunds, discounts, apologies? Or will she just keep it moving and hope the next album washes away the bad blood? No one knows. But here's what we do know. Fans aren't going to forget this. Not anytime soon. They remember how it felt to watch their dream night turn into a $900 0 cents joke. They remember being the most loyal stans in the game and feeling like fools. And the next time Beyoncé drops a tour, you better believe people are gonna think twice. They'll remember Cowboy Carter, the chaos, the silence, the sting. Now, some fans, they'll forgive. Of course they will. She's Beyoncé. She raised us. She healed us. She gave us lemonade when we were thirsty. But others, they're done. They're vocal and they want change. And maybe, just maybe, this time the industry will listen. Because if they don't, Cowboy Carter won't be the last disaster. It'll be the first in a long, painful series of wake-up calls. And in a world where music is more accessible than ever, the live experience, it has to feel special again, magical, fair. Because without the fans, the lights don't shine. The arenas stay dark, and no amount of pyrotechnics can fill an empty seat. So Queen Bey, the ball's in your court. The fans are watching. The world is watching. Will you speak? Will you make this right? Or will Cowboy Carter ride off into the sunset as a cautionary tale? Either way, the culture has shifted. And honestly, it was about time. It was about time.